Sawadee krap. How's it going today? This time we're going to make Thai sticky noodles. And we make it a little bit more brothy. Some places make it kind of dry with a little bit of thick gravy on top. So we're going to be making like a thick broth to pour over the noodles. However, there's like a two-step process. But here's the ingredients anyway. We're going to do it with pork today. And we're using kale instead of Chinese broccoli, which Kailan, which is we're just showing you some substitutes so that you can easily find some of the ingredients, because unless you got an Asian store, Kailan is not easy to find sometimes. And then we're using the rice noodles. This one is fresh, but you also can get it dry. It's a thick rice sticks, and if you use the dried ones, you just gotta hydrate it and fry it. The same thing is what we're gonna do. And you just soak it in hot water for about 20 minutes or so, and then drain it, and then you can use it just like this. And this is like miso, Thai style, so it's fermented soybeans. This is just oil. This is like vinegar with chilies in it. And this is the Healthy Boy soy sauce. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stir fry this with a little bit of oil, and then this is for color. And what this does is it gives the noodle a nice charred taste and another depth, another layer inside the flavor of the sauce, the soup itself. So here we go. So you heat up your oil. This one doesn't need much. So I mean, we use a non-stick pan so that it's like you don't have to use a lot of oil. So you let that heat up. And what this also does is it helps you separate the noodles. So you make it nice and hot. You just throw this in. Starting to sizzle. So you just add some of this dark soy in. You won't need much. This one, I probably use about a teaspoon in there right now. As you can see, this is dark soy, and make it, darken it up quite a bit. And you just kind of fry it until it dries out some. And you separate it. So you see the oil and the dark soy is helping to separate the noodles and get an even coat on. So some people like it a little bit charred and some people don't. It's just a matter of preference. When it gets a little bit charred, it gets a little bit, I guess you could say, a little bit crunchy on the outside and get a little bit of that burnt flavor. Some people like that. So after it's nice and separated, nice and hot, and then you'll see the noodles on the end start to brown. Then you know it's done. I don't know if you can see it, but some of them have got like a little charring going on. Then you know it's done. And then you can just set it aside. And now we're going to start the sauce. Okay. Yeah, 3 cups. So this is about 24 ounces of water. That's a little bit of oyster sauce.
Maybe
Half a tablespoon. She likes to give me these small bowls to mix it inside. I just give it back to her to mix it. See, she was gonna make me embarrass myself in front here. Spill all over the plate. So you just kind of mix it together. Then you go ahead and just put it in. Okay, we're going to go with 2 tablespoons of the bean paste. And then we're going to go with about a tablespoon of soy. We always can add more, but since you got the salt flavors from the preserved fermented soybeans, you don't want to add too much right off the bat. Yeah, for now. So just remember, it's better to put less and add. They put too much, then you're gonna have to fix it. Add more water, add more this, so it's easier to just add a little bit. So just bring that back up to a boil. And what we got this for is we're just gonna put about a tablespoon of the vinegar right from the top. This is the one but I just used the vinegar. This is the one that's been soaking the chilies. And this is just serranos in there. But this dish is really good with those to put on top if you want it a little bit spicy. So as you notice in all our recipes, we don't add MSG, so what we do is, yeah, plenty. So what we do is we just add a little bit of sugar to kind of balance out the flavor, enhance and bring out other flavors in there. So, you know your pork's cooked now. So you just go ahead and add your carrots. Like I said, vegetables is all whatever you want to put in there. But the main thing that Rad Nah usually has is something green, and that green is usually Kailan, which is the Chinese broccoli. But make do with what you got. So this is just a cornstarch slurry. So we just kind of put it in here to make it easy. You know, it's not the little bare organic one. Polar bear. So when it's boiling, then you go ahead and add your cornstarch slurry. This one takes a lot. You want it thick. So the good thing about cornstarch is that, even tapioca starch, the good thing is that once it hits the bubbles, then it starts boiling, then it's done, it's cooked. If you was to use flour on the other hand takes you about a 5 minutes simmer or so to cook it. So this is about, what, 2 tablespoons?
Yes.
About 2 tablespoons of cornstarch mixed with water, made into a slurry. A lot of time what you'll notice too is when you're eating these noodles, it'll start thinning out. That's no big deal, but the weird thing is that if you leave it sit, it won't thin out.
Yeah.
Yes. Good now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Time to plate. There you go. So I'm mixing it so that the noodles get all the good juices in there too. So this one is the fried garlic. That's always good on top of it. So we got a big jar. That. And these chilies. Like this, you can, as much as you want, you know, you can just not put it at all if you didn't want it. But this is the normal Thai condiment tray. They would put also you would put sugar if you wanted it sweeter, and then the vinegar, and then the fried garlic, and one more thing is the dried chilies. So this is just a normal Thai condiments that you would put on top of this. That it's just all optional. So, and this is the sugar. So you can dress it up like how you want it, and kind of, you know, some people like it sweeter, some people like it more spicy, some people like it a little bit more sour. You know, it's kind of really up to you. That's why a lot of the Thai noodles will come kind of not neutral taste, but more of a savory flavor, and then you can add whatever you want to make it to according to your taste. Okay. So, Jay, you got to try this. Okay.
Oh, okay. I remember.
Now, one person used to come in there, our restaurant, and just almost every time it turned into one of his favorite, you know, his go-to dish per se. So anyway, until next time, if you got any questions, you got any needs for, you know, where to get spices and herbs and the ingredients, just go ahead and give us a call and hit subscribe, please. We'd appreciate it. And tell your friends about us. And until next time, try cooking Thai.
Thank
you. Take it easy.